So the main type of sailboats can be put in two broad categories. One is a monohull and the other is multi-hull. So a monohull is just one hull, and a multi-hull has either two, which is a catamaran, or three, which is a trimaran. There are different kinds of sailing yachts that fit different parameters that people have. For example, one of the biggest things is speed and performance, comfort if they're going around the world, durability, the materials of the boat, if they have children, if they need to be more comfortable and quote unquote safe. It'll really depend on what the person wants to do with the boat. In the brokerage market, there are other brands of boats, but the yards aren't in existence anymore. Alloy, Fitzroy, Holland Yacht Bow. You can get one of these boats that's been kept up and is still in existence and is very good value, because you wouldn't be able to build those boats anymore from that manufacturer, from that builder. The cutoff point for being able to operate it as an owner-operator, or that you must have crew, is usually at about 80 feet. Be aware that the insurance companies are now starting to slide that line down, and even though you can operate it perfectly, they are demanding now at 70 feet that a captain be employed. The main requirement for crew on a sailboat in general is that they know how to sail, and that they like to sail, and that they don't mind being on an incline a good part of the time when you're sailing. So angle to the wind is one indicator, and speed, of course, is another indicator. The main thing about performance is that it is so subjective. So one of my friends who did a 13-year trip solo around the world in his boat was when he fell asleep at the wheel, and the boat came up to the wind, went into irons, and saved him. The best kind of keels to get closer to the beach are the ones that are shallow, or that can be more shallow. Multi-hulls are one of the best for that. The difference between buying a sailing yacht in Europe and in the US for the larger ones, for the ones that are over 24 meters, let's say, that's about 80 feet, is that there are about 9 sailboats over there to one boat here. Another thing that's really different about Europe and the United States is our import duty. So a seller that comes to the US must technically import the boat, even in order to market it and show it, unless they're in the free trade zone. The new trends in the boats are pilot house deck salon and lower salon, or raised salon, which gives more light. That's the main trend. The push button technology is certainly taken off. Carbon is also another thing, because it's a lighter material. So particularly in rigs, the mast being carbon and the boom being carbon. Now even sails are being done out of lighter materials, and no infurling. It still has its place in the sailing world. The very best boat show for over 24 meters is by far the Palma Boat Show. There are many good local shows, and we have one in Newport, for example. That's a very good show. But for the bigger boats, Palma's the boat show. Well, the best destinations for sailing are where you have wind. The Med might be a great place to use your sailboat. They don't have a great history for having consistent wind in the same way that some places do, like certain places in Spain, or like the trade winds in the Caribbean. They always have wind and it's consistent. So those are known especially for sailing boats. Turkey is another place that a lot of people really like to sail, and Croatia around in there. In the Med, the winds are not consistent in the same way that they are in the Caribbean, for example. That doesn't mean a person shouldn't take their sailboat there, because it's wonderful cruising, and one uses their boat then more like a vehicle, like a home, where they can visit these other beautiful places around there that they're cruising, and sail when the wind comes up. One of the best ones for big boats is the St. Bart's bucket in St. Bart's that happens in the spring. There's another one in Palma for big boats. There are buckets around the world. That one is also very well known. Northrop Johnson can offer a sailing yacht buyer or seller a lot. One of the reasons is Northrop Johnson is one of the oldest brokerages in the world, and it has historically been very sailing yacht oriented. We've always had brokers in our company around the world that have owned boats, that have sailed boats as captains, that have raced boats. We have every genre of experience. I, for example, cruised with my family for a year, and then after that I became a captain. I was a captain for almost 8 years, and now I'm a broker. So we have experience actually in the field, which is very valuable to a buyer or a seller. We also, as a company, offer management if you want to do charter. We offer crew placement. We offer great marketing, and we have great relationships all around the world because we're very collaboration oriented.